Distance learning lesson number 3, World War I. Causes of World War I. World War I was originally called the Great War or the War to End All Wars. Like many wars, it did not have one specific cause, but started because of competition and alliances between countries in Europe. France, Great Britain, and Russia, the Allied powers, joined to fight the forces of Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire, the Central Powers. At first, the United States remained neutral. However, many Americans wanted to enter the war. In May 1915, a German submarine sank the British steamship Lusitania. Nearly 1,200 people were killed, among them over 100 Americans. The sinking angered many Americans. In 1917, German Foreign Minister Arthur Zimmermann sent a coded telegram to Mexico's President Carranza. It asked Carranza to side with Germany if the United States went to war with Germany. It also promised to help Mexico reconquer lands it had lost in the U.S.-Mexican War, including Texas. When Americans learned about the telegram, they were outraged. In April 1917, Congress declared war on Germany. Question number 1. What was the Zimmermann telegram? Texans fight in the Great War. The government had to quickly mobilize the nation for war. This meant it had to train and equip soldiers. Texas became an important location for this effort. Recruits were trained at military camps near Fort Worth, Waco, Houston, and San Antonio. World War I was the first war in which airplanes were used to a great extent. Most of the Americans who flew planes in the war trained at Kelly Field in San Antonio. Mexicans in Texas who were not American citizens did not have to serve in the military, but many volunteered. Hundreds of Mexican Americans served as combat troops in France. Number 2. Why was San Antonio significant to the U.S. military during the war? Impacts of war. To ensure that there was enough food for the troops, people voluntarily rationed food. For example, many Texans ate less sugar and lard. That's fat. Some people observed meatless Tuesdays. Wheat was in short supply, so many Texans did not eat bread on certain days. Many Texas women worked as nurses, farmers, and in factories. Although women were not allowed to serve in combat, meaning they couldn't fight, Catherine and Marjorie Stinson trained pilots at their family's flight school in San Antonio. Remember, that's just right down the road from us. Catherine Stinson flew fundraising tours for the Red Cross and drove an ambulance in Europe. Marjorie Stinson was the only female in the U.S. Army Aviation Reserve Corps. Number 3. In what ways could Texans contribute to the war besides enlisting in the Army? Visual analysis. During World War I, propaganda was created to convince Americans to support the war, just like this stamp. Number 4. To what event in 1915 is the stamp referring? So look at the picture and try to figure out what event did we talk about in 1915 is it showing? Number 5. What is it asking people to do, and do you think it's effective? So remember, propaganda is used to convince people to do something. So what is this stamp trying to convince people to do? And do you think it's effective? Would it convince you?